Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our live webinar of eIMMIGRATION. My name is Vanessa. On behalf of Serenade, I want to thank you for joining us today. Today, we're gonna have an overview of recently added features and enhancements. And if you have any questions, please send me your questions via the chat. Also, this is being recorded. You can watch the video in our YouTube channel once it's ready. Also, you can download the PowerPoint presentation that we are sharing today with you so that you can click on the links and share with your team. All right, so as always, we go through the basic 3 steps of creating a contact, linking members, and creating cases. You'll be surprised how many people are still not using the system correctly because either they're used to just going into the USCIS account or website to type data. They're not entering the information in the correct place. So we want to remind clients of the best practice, how do you want to use the system to save time and work more efficiently. So the idea is that you create a contact. And by the way, you can also leave a link on your website. So prospects can just create their own contact profile so you don't have to go through this step. So when you have a contact created, let me open one. I'm going to close this. When you have a contact created, you want to enter as much information as possible in here. And don't forget to save your changes. Also, you can upload a picture to identify the client. And on the right-hand side, we see different sections like history of previous addresses or biographic information. By the way, since today's topic is what's new, what's been recently added, we have extended the background questions. This is the I-539, and you can complete the background questions here. So they populate on the form. Now, again, if you create a contact profile, you want to save time. This is where you need to enter the information. Usually, I recommend that you also take advantage of the alternate view, where you can complete the questionnaires or intake forms on behalf of your clients. As a reminder, these can be customized. So if you go into your administrator portal and you want to create your own questionnaires, you can do that. In fact, we have clients that utilize this technology for their contracts. So you can add an electronic signature field or use the system as a CRM. How did you hear about this organization or law firm? When would you like to come in for a consultation? Or so you can have an intake form for your potential clients and ask these questions even before the consultation. So we have that alternate view. As long as you enter the information, let me just change. Let's say her name is Valeria Marie. So I save that in here under the alternate view. Always wait until you get this green bar notification or confirmation to close or switch. And I don't know why it does that. Okay, so let me close this. So as you can see, the middle name was saved. So you can also utilize the alternate view when you're capturing data on behalf of clients. Today, I'm not going to cover questionnaires, but I also encourage clients to utilize that feature, especially the passwordless questionnaires where you just send them a link. It could be a link via text message, via email, via WhatsApp. So your clients or prospects can just complete these questionnaires online. So once you have completed the contact profile and entered data, the second step is to link the family members. Or if it's an employment-based case, we're talking about the business client first, right? You create a contact for them. And when you go to members, then this is where you link the employees or the signatories, anyone, HR member, anyone who's related to the corporation. It's the same process when you deal with a family-based case. Who are the beneficiaries or even the parents? You want to link them as members because That way, when you get to the forms, their information also transfers automatically. Okay, so instead of retyping it over and over again. And all you do is click link member. You want to create a new contact right here and enter the information. I suggest that you don't generate a client number because they're not a client. It's just a contact. And once you enter the information, select relationship. This is a daughter, this is a spouse, um, like joint sponsor. You want to select what relationship and then click link, and it will take you back to this screen. So then you see the name of the person, and that obviously, if you see Valeria here, that means that anything that you see in this profile belongs to her. I clarify this because, again, you'll be surprised how many calls we get sometimes like, oh, the information is wrong. It's because they sent the questionnaire to the petitioner from the beneficiary's profile. So make sure that you, for example, if I link the son, now I click on his name and it would open another tab where I can see his name, Andrew, and then this belongs to Andrew. And this is his information, okay? All right, so that's how you link the members. And by the way, we have under the alternate view a questionnaire called relatives. So you could also utilize the relatives intake form to link them. And when you click save, please be aware that the system creates an account for that contact automatically. You don't have to create that manually. So in my opinion, again, it's faster for you guys to get it done by using the alternate view and the templates. Okay, just beware of duplicates. If you use the alternate view and you have already linked the members, and there's no need to add that member again because the system will create a duplicate. All right, so let's go over the third step. Once you create the contact, enter data, and then linked members, the last step is to create the matter or case. And when you create the case, you're gonna go through these steps, select the location. I'm not sure if you're aware, but this system, you can be, you can use it for more than just immigration. Also, as a reminder, you can customize all these drop-down menus so that you can rearrange the processes, you can customize the type of grants or programs, the categories. When I say customize, I mean the administrator portal. I'm not sure if you are aware, but the system has an admin site. It's kind of like your back office where you can make the system your own by adding or removing stuff that you don't need. Again, where you can utilize it for more than just immigration. Your information as the preparer or the attorney or DOJ rep, it will transfer to the forms as long as this box is checked. And then you select the role. If you guys handle employment-based cases, keep in mind the employer has to be linked as employer, where you select the branch and the signatory. But if it's a family-based case, then you can select petitioner. And for the beneficiary, I recommend that you guys use alien instead. Why? Well, because the forms expect alien information, so I might as well just save you a couple of, actually like 3 clicks. All right, so I'm gonna click on next. I'll skip this conditional rule. I'll talk about this later today. This is one of the most recently added features, actually. And we have the forms checklist. Again, this can be customized. If you guys want to save time by having the forms exactly the way you want them, go to the admin and update your forms checklist. And that's it. That's how you create a matter. You can tell right away this is different because I see the process type and the case number. And so my recommendation is that you click on the name of the person so that you can access both the contact profile in one, the case profile on another one, and multitask. Um, Let me see. Do you guys have any questions at this point? Were those basic 3 steps clear to you? So we have a poll in progress. So just click on your screen to vote. That allows me to see if you're paying attention. No, just kidding. It's Friday. Let me close this. Well, we've got 75% of the vote. So thank you so much. All right, let's proceed. So right now I'm going to talk about one of the AI features that we recently released was the Extractor. So the way that the Extractor works, as the name says, you extract data from a PDF. Okay, so what you need to do is go on the left and click on Extractor. I want to clarify, currently Serenade is offering this for everyone, but eventually this Extractor or anything related to AI will be available just for clients under Plan C. If you don't know if you have it or not, you can always go to your user, well, the settings and then subscription details. And eventually the Extractor will be one of these features. And it's going to require access, like again, from Plan C users. So if you see unlimited right here, it means that you do have Plan C. Okay. With that being said, let's talk about the Extractor. Now, before you extract, make sure that your administrator, let me take you all to the admin portal. All right, so here in the admin, we have Extractor mapping templates. You can save templates here. And, for example, today I'm going to use an example for like Mexican passport. I'll just call it test. So you can create your templates. And also under the users section, let me add a caseworker. Let's say that we've got a paralegal and I want to give them access. This is where you customize their access rights. When you create an account for a new user, just so you guys know, this is where you can select what days and times they can use the system and what access rights do they have. So again, right now, if I want to allow my paralegal to delete or modify the Extractor mapping templates, I can do that. Actually, let me double check mine since I'm here. So I'll just scroll down and make sure, yep, mine is selected, allow. So sometimes when you guys add a user, maybe the administrator forgets, let's say this new paralegal has been added, but he is blocked from e-filing or from billing. So you can customize the access rights from here. Okay, so let's go back. So this is the admin portal. This is what I was talking about earlier, where you customize the system. So I highly, highly recommend that your team takes advantage of the customizations, adding templates, customizing questionnaires or your fields, drop-down menus. You can do a lot here in the admin as far as like customizations. All right, so let's see how the Extractor works. I'm gonna click on Tools, Extractor. I also recommend that you make your screen a little bit smaller. I'm just gonna do 75, maybe 80%. You'll see right now why. And let me add the PDF. So I'm just picking my file and I am uploading it. I'm waiting for it to be processed. Okay, if this is the first time that you map a template like this and you choose this option, this is the first time that I am extracting data. Now, if you already have a template, you don't have to start from scratch. You can pick that from here. So this is the one that I just created, the Mexican passport test. Now I'm going to click apply. And here's my file. Sometimes when you upload an image, it's vertical, so you can fix it right here. If you see, I'm just rotating it. So here's the PDF, and the system, as you can see here. Let me make this a little bit smaller. Just gonna make this a little bit smaller so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the extractor, as the name says, it's extracting data from the PDF. So passport number, this is her passport number that's scanned from the PDF. All I need to do is link it or map it to the system. Where is the passport? So I'll just type passport. I'm just, how do I say this? Redirecting traffic pretty much. Just saying whenever we upload a similar passport, I want this passport number to populate under current passport number. Apellidos is the last name. So Medina Perez, I'm going to move that into last name, which is under general info. The extractor has these options where you can extract to, or like I said, map it to. So what I'm doing is just redirecting from the PDF to the system. This is what mapping means, or linking it. I don't know how you guys want to call it. So for example, sometimes Abigail was captured. I mean, remember, AI is just artificial, so we have to fix it right here. This is her first name. So again, I'm just picking general info, first name. Now keep in mind, you don't have to do this every single time. Once I save this template, next time that I upload a similar passport, I won't have to map it. Okay. Observations, I don't need that, so I'm just gonna select and delete that field. I don't care for that one. Fecha de nacimiento or date of birth. So also keep in mind that sometimes you have to change this because it's going to put the wrong date of birth. So we just have to fix it. And that's it. So it's January 17, 1981. And again, individual client, general info, and this is the date of birth. And you get the idea. So I'm not gonna need the curve, so I'll delete that. I do care for, oops, for the gender. So I'll say individual, general, and this is the sex, and then place of birth. Oh no, sorry, this is the date, the issuance date. I'm trying to translate. So again, notice that because this is a foreign passport, we have to fix that so that it populates the correct issuing date. So you just go individual client, general info, passport, issuance date. So what I'm doing is I'm just again redirecting. I'll just do one more, which is the expiration date. So this is June. Making sure that I'm not changing. Yes. Okay, so issuance, this is expiration date. Passport expiration date. Okay, so I'll just delete anything unmapped because I'm just going to use these for today's example. So you see, this is what I was saying, that you want to make this smaller because I can scroll down. Okay, maybe not too small. Okay, this works. If you need to add an additional row, so maybe I care for, I don't know, the city of birth, Mexico, I can add a region manually. But right now I'm just going to click next. It's going to ask you, are you want to save or not? So click yes. And if you are mapping this to, well, I don't have a contact for Abigail Medina Perez, so I will click add new client. Okay, so Abigail, female, and create. If you have duplicates, the system will alert you and warn you. So I'll just create a new one. And what do you want to map? So you need to select the fields and click save. If there's any errors, you will get that information. But right now, the passport was saved successfully. So let's take a look. Okay, so if you notice right away, you can tell that the system populated her last name and the date of birth. And if I go to the document section, we see under the passport the information, the number, the issuance date, expiration, and of course the PDF is here. Actually, let me just preview it this way. Let me know if you guys have any questions about the extractor. And also notice again that my PowerPoint presentation has links. So I encourage you to download my PowerPoint presentation so that you can watch the tutorial video for these modules or features, okay? All right, so the next one is client invoices. Serenade had billing for years. We couldn't create an invoice if you didn't have a case. So Serenade has enhanced that billing module to allow you to create an invoice without necessarily having a case. So let's use the same contact for Abigail. And I'm going to click on billing. And remember, again, at this point, I have no cases created. So now I can create an invoice for a prospect. In theory, let's say Abby is a prospect. So I'll just create an invoice after I go through the consultation. I'll go to billing, invoices, and add invoice. Oh, sorry, I am reading a question. Hi, happy Friday to you too. I didn't see when you switched from the admin portal. How did you start the, I'm sorry, you skipped the whole thing. It's right here on the left. So when you just go to tools, you'll find the extractor here, especially for an existing client. Yeah, so the only difference is that instead of creating a new contact, you're just gonna search for the search the existing client and make sure that the name and last name matches, because you don't want to create a duplicate or upload it to the wrong profile. So, sorry, so I'm creating an invoice for a client that has no case. See, this is what this is what I'm showing you. This is new, creating an invoice without a case. So now I can choose, also, if you guys want to create a custom invoice, contact your sales rep so that they can give you a quote. We have that option for you. Obviously, there's an additional fee for creating a custom invoice, but we do have that option. And then here's where you select the type of payment, where you can, although I don't recommend it because if you limit it to ACH, then clients cannot process a payment, let's say using credit cards. So my suggestion is that you leave it open. And also this is new, where you can send confirmation to your client and caseworker whenever there's a manual payment. So let's say my paralegal processes a payment. I want to get that confirmation via email as well as my client. All right, so let's click add. And, oh, I didn't add any items. I apologize for that. I skipped that very important part. Well, how much am I going to charge her? So, see this list of invoice items, it's something you guys create. Let me make this bigger again. Here we go. Okay. In your admin portal, you need to create at least one item, billing items. If you haven't done that yet, you need to do that. Otherwise, you won't be able to create an invoice because the system needs to know how much am I charging this person. So I usually recommend if you're in a rush or you just don't want to do it, just create one, call it master or general. Even if it's just $1, we're gonna change it anyways. So if I look, I'm gonna use that one for I think I skipped it right here, general or this one. So even though it says $1 general, when I add the item, you see select edit. This is where you can modify it. I'm gonna edit the description and call it consultation. Let's say the consultation was yesterday and we charge, I don't know, $100, but we have a promotion and it's like, you know, discounted consultation. So now it's 75. So you can modify that, and once you have the final fee, how much are we gonna include or charge for this service? right here, consultation, then I can add the invoice. Also, if you haven't customized your invoice with your logo, go into your admin and locate the application settings under branding. You can upload your logo. Okay. Now, another thing is the address is not listed yet in the system. That's why her name doesn't show up, but we'll fix it afterwards. I can modify this, for example, discounted or, but I cannot change the fee. Or if you guys want to save time by adding your default notes, also do that from the administrator portal. I'll just click save on the top left. Got it, thanks. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, so we created the invoice. I'm gonna close it and I wanna show her name. So I go to Abigail's personal info under the address section and I'm just going to type it. I'll just call it 123 test, save it, go back to my billing invoices. And now I can change that to reflect her name and her address. So under the settings option, now I can choose the 123 test. And that's it. Click save. So that's how you fix it. Now, well, I'm not gonna really spend a lot of time today talking about billing, but if you guys want to watch our videos on our YouTube channel, I encourage you to do that because we also offer credit card processing module where you can link your LawPay account and let the system process the payments automatically. Let me just quickly open the invoice so you guys can see the name shows up now. All right, so that's how you create an invoice with no case yet. So just a client invoice. Let me see if anyone has any questions at this point. How many of you are new users? Okay, thank you so much for voting. All of you, awesome. Okay, so remember, you can send me a question via the chat. Actually, someone said, how did you get rid of the second page when it's blank? You don't. The second page is the payment history, so you won't need that. But again, if you guys want a custom invoice, just contact us so that we can give you a quote. We have had clients that customize the invoice to get rid of the second page, and they do the payments at the bottom. Let me reopen it. So let me click on billing, invoices, open, just to show you what I'm talking about. See, there's a lot of space right here. So what they did is that they put the payments in the second half of the paper instead of having two pages. So this payment history, it's super helpful. But again, you can customize the invoice and let them know like, hey, I want my invoice to like remove the word ship to or remit payment or just, make this bigger or smaller. Like, you can customize it. Just contact Serenade sales team so they can give you a quote. All right, so let's continue. The next item on my list is, let me close this, reminder templates. Actually, this was one of my favorite enhancements that Serenade launched because we all need those reminders, but it's tedious to have to type the reminder. So, for example, you go into your admin and you click on letter templates. I'm just gonna say that I need template for, I don't know, like consultation reminder maybe. What I'm doing, consultation reminder template. Okay, so you're going to copy paste because I assume you already have those in Word or Outlook. So just copy, paste, or generate with AI. So I'm just gonna type. Did you know that you can use tags to auto-populate for example, the name, the date, or so I'm just going to search individual. Where did it go? Individual client's first name. It's actually faster if you use the tag helper. So let me show you. I'm showing you the first option, which is tedious, and then the faster option is just switch, go to tools, tag helper. So it's a lot faster for you to just type, what's the first name? Like, sorry, what's the first name tag? And then it's right here. You can just copy it and then paste it under here. Anyway, so this is a reminder. I'm telling you, I can't type when I'm live. This is a reminder for your consultation, blah, blah, blah. You can have the system populate also custom fields if you guys want to do that. All right, so I'll just show you that example and go back to the caseworker. Someone has a question? I give a credit for the consultation. How do I have that show up? You can do an adjustment when they retain you, and then you have to show like consultation adjustment or credit. You can show that, but as a default, I don't think you can do that. What I recommend is I use activities so that by default you can say, okay, when they sign the contract, add an expense that says negative 100 or how much is the credit. Yeah. Okay, so reminder templates. Let's say that Abigail has a consultation and I want to schedule a reminder. So when I go under the reminders, click on reminders again, and I'm going to add the reminder, say consultation. Now you can customize this drop-down menu that I just, this where it says category. So if you guys want to have more options than just deadline or interview or task, the more you customize it, the better, because then you get the reminder and you know exactly what this is for. So the way you customize this is going into your admin, and it's right here, case or client reminder types. So when is this consultation? Let's say next week on the 25th. I want to send her an email or a text message reminder, maybe a day before, and I'll send that at 8 a.m. And who's responsible for the consultation? So I'll just pick my name and I'll CC my client. So I pick these three dots. You could CC any other caseworker or any other client member. Oh, shoot. You know what? I don't have her email address. So let's just make it up. Okay. Now this is what I was talking about. Message template. Before you had to type the description. Hey, Abby, blah, blah, blah. So now I can just pick um, the, the template, which was consultation reminder template. And I want you to know, notice that the name populated. This is a reminder for a consultation tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So again, if you guys want to save time, create your template so that when you create the reminder, you don't have to type it. You just select, like your court hearing is tomorrow or your payment is due. So that's how you create the reminder. Workflow automation. Let's talk about that. I also believe clients are not utilizing the template, the process steps as much as I recommend, I guess, or as much as I would if I was a solo practitioner for sure. I guess maybe because I like to get that reminder or feel like I know what I'm doing. If I have a team, I also want to know what's a priority and how to delegate tasks. So this is a great approach using process steps. And the way you use these process steps, ideal is you want to modify them from your admin portal. So the workflow or process steps, it's right here, case processes. So let's say that we want to customize the workflow for TPS. So then I click on, or let's say the adjustment, I think I already have one. So you click on steps. So it shows you the task or step and then the number of days. And then of course, if you want that paralegal or caseworker who's responsible to get an email reminder, select that as well. Now you can make a copy of these steps. We didn't have that before where you can just clone that and say, okay, I want this step on, maybe you want to move that. I want to send this reminder right here. I want to send this reminder right here. So anyway, so you can do that instead of retyping it. Give me 1 second. Let me see. There's a question. Will you use that client credit Will you use that client credit you explain as a process step example? Yeah, of course. Great idea. So the question is, okay, I want to give them a credit for the consultation. And so let's say that once the contract is signed, I need to create the invoice and send it to the client. So what I would do is just add an activity. So if you guys are taking notes, just write down activities. This is a video that we also have under the user's guide. So activities means when the process steps completed, add the expense. I'll just modify this one. Actually, let me delete it so I can show you how it's done. Okay, what is an activity? It's an automated action. I am pre-programming, I guess, the workflow so that I can say when this happens, so when I complete that step and I check the box, remember I'm talking about these steps. So when I say, hey, the contract has been signed, right here. Once this is done, click this box. So the system helps me add those expenses. So I can create the invoice. So you're gonna do when the process step it's completed, or you can also say this a few days after, maybe 3 days after we start this step, then add the expense. And so I'll just put consultation credit. You can have your billing items, remember, by flat fee or hourly rates. So I'll just call it consultation credit, and it's not 200, it's negative 100. So consultation credit, and then save. So close. Okay, so let's test it. I'm gonna have to update my process. Just give me one quick second. Why am I updating it? Because I want to make sure that I'm using the new steps. Let me refresh. Okay, so if we go to the process steps, what we're saying is that this is my workflow and I will modify them so that I can start delegating. Even if it's just you, this is going to help you organize yourself and be like, okay, what's my priority? If I add the start dates, and based on the number of days, the system auto-populates your target date. And this is where you can also delegate by choosing the caseworker. See, you just pick the names right here. So here's the one, once a signed agreement. So we're going to say, hey, starting on this date, 3 days after, which is in theory already the 18th. Let's see if that works. I should have done when it's completed, so I can just mark the box. Okay, so once you save, let me refresh. So in theory, it's technically overdue. Let's go under billing, expenses and charges. Yeah, I think I should have done, give me 1 second, let me fix that. Activities, I'm just gonna change that once it's completed because I can travel in time. All right, let's go back and refresh this. For those who are lost and confused, I apologize. I'm just fixing this because I chose 2 or 3 days after the step starts. So I'm just fixing it. Okay, so let's go back to process steps. So process steps, again, remember, this is your workflow and this is kind of like your to-do list. All we're doing is we're delegating or selecting your name so that you know when you need to do the step. And based on the number here, then it's going to generate a target date. So once you create your workflow, and also remember, you can make copies of the steps, or you can also add a whole predefined list of steps. This is also new. When I check the box and say, okay, once the contract is signed, then the system should have add an expense for me. Okay, here we go. So here's the credit, which means that when I add the expenses, I could have added more, by the way. Let's say we're going to charge $6,000 for the service. When I have my expenses and I create the invoice, since this was a question asked, I'm just going to use that example, okay? I am adding the credit for the consultation by default. So in theory, it's kind of like automatically adding the credit, the adjustment. So right here, it's, I hope that helps, but let me know if you have any questions. The other thing that you can do is if you forget and you don't want to go through the whole process, is just click here, manage discounts and late fees. So I can say consultation credit, or you know what? It won't let you do the negative. Oh, sorry, no, I don't have to do that since this is already a discount. Okay, so let's say 100 consultation credit, close, and now it's showing 5,800. The way that this reflects on the invoice, it's a discount. So you can do that, or you can do the automatic credit using the activities, whatever works for you. You're welcome. Thank you for asking me to use as an example. I think that's super helpful. Okay, so let's continue with conditional rules. Honestly, I don't think a lot of people need this feature if you it was requested. It was requested by one of our clients and they're a nonprofit. And so I'm going to explain the reason behind it and how it can help you. But if you don't need it, the benefit is that you can always skip it. Okay. So conditional rules are kind of like don't laugh at me, but I consider these as a slap in the hand, like don't forget to do this. And then um so the way that you can create a rule is you go to the processes and then you find the matter and you're gonna choose rules. So this is where you can add the rule and it's kind of like if this, then this. Okay. So you're gonna add the field, excuse me, and you can select, okay, if, for example, the program type, uh, it should be a grant, it should be a status, or if the jurisdiction is this, or if the department is this, so you can customize that and you can add as many fields. This is what I was saying. If this, then this. If my process type is equal to cancellation of removal, then the type of, oops, oh, I think I picked department. Sorry about that. I should have picked the program type. This is what I was talking about. So I want the program type to be selected, and if my team forgets to select the type of program or grant, this is where we can enforce that because that's going to be a conditional rule. Again, conditional because it says if this, then this. Okay. If we create a cancellation or removal case, then the type of program or grant has to be equal to a grant to or a program, or again, you can choose the value. Let's click save and let's go through that example. So let's say that Abigail is here for that process of conditional. Let's go create the case. I'm going to pick my department. I'm going to choose that cancellation or removal. And I'm not going to select it. So let's say I forget to select the grant or program type. So I go next. My information is selected. This is the alien. Okay, look, this is what's going to happen. I'm not going to choose a program type, and I get this warning. The program type is not equal to grant one. It has to be selected in order for me to move on. Otherwise, I cannot continue and create the case without that field selected. So again, if you guys want to use that for enforcing your staff to choose, for example, hey, when we create a case, maybe we won't call it program type. We want to call it status, like in process or completed, pending. Eventually, you can, of course, change the type of status and what's going on with the case. Has it been interrupted? Is it pending with NBC? So again, you can enforce those by using the conditional rules. Let me know if you guys have any questions at this point. I'm going to continue with the rest of the presentation. Another recently added feature was the option to auto-convert uploaded images to PDFs. I love that feature because it saves you so much time. Let me show you first how to turn it on. In the meantime, please let me know if you guys have any questions at this point. Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to close this and continue. I'm in the administrator portal. I'm going to scroll down to application settings, and I'm going to turn this on. So it's auto convert uploaded images to PDF. If you don't have it on, I highly recommend that you use that, because let me show you the difference. I'm going to use Abigail. Let's say for Abby, since we have that consultation or cancellation or removal, let's say we've got a receipt notice. Well, if I upload an image, so let's say, or like this one, let's use this one, passport. If I upload her passport, I'm just gonna upload an image. And let me upload a JPEG so that you guys see. Give me one quick second. I'm finding a that's not a JPEG. This is it. Okay. All right, sorry about that. I was just trying to find that picture, and I'm going to save it. It's not a PDF, but once I upload it, right away, you can see that the file says PDF because I have that on. The problem by not having it on, that setting, is that I would have to download the image to see it. But if I have a PDF, I can just click view, and then I can preview the image. So I can determine if it's not a good picture or a document, and then I can just request another one. Do not delete the entry. If that ever happens to you when you view the image and it's blurry or it's just not acceptable, what you need to do is click edit and remove it from here. Do not delete the whole thing, because then you have to retype it or create it or add a new one. But yeah, that's a benefit of turning that setting on where we auto convert your uploaded images to PDF, because then you can just click preview or view and then look at the image instead of having to download it to your computer. Okay. Next item, let's talk about, where is her profile? Okay. Next item is the client's access password. When you give them access, or let's say we want to give Abigail access to her client portal, I'll just pick something easy for her to remember, like 1234. When I create the access and I send her an email, hey Abigail, this is a username and password to log in into your client portal. Well, when you let them, you know what? I didn't enter her email address. AbigailTest.com. Here we go. All right, so close this. Never. Okay. Now I'm going to show you what happens when the client logs in for the first time. She's going to enter her username and password, 1234. And because this is the first time that she logs in, now they see this, please change your password. So 1234, which was a lot easier for her to type, now she can pick her own password. And it's faster, easier. Trust me, clients don't have to call you and say, what was my password? If you create a complicated one, they can, they can copy paste, but sometimes when they copy paste the password, it grabs like an extra space and they get an error message. So now she can log in and access her portal. Let me know if you have any questions at this point. Can you show again how to go to the application settings to auto convert into PDF? Yes, of course. So let me switch back to, oh, where is it? Okay, right here. So go into your admin first. To go into your admin, you have to click on the under settings on the top right corner, settings, and then you should see administrative tools. I usually recommend that you right click and open in a new tab. That's why I already have it here. When you go into your admin, scroll down to application settings, and then you're going to see it on the right hand side under the general settings right here, auto convert uploaded images to PDF. And this is a reminder for everyone to explore the application settings, honestly, because what it's going to take you 15 minutes to explore and read, okay, what if I click here? Or it's going to make a huge difference. For example, this one, just send me one single notification when my client is done with all the pending questionnaires instead of one email per questionnaire per client. So, um, or enable the module to sign forms electronically. If you have that off, then you won't be able to sign forms electronically. Anyway, so please explore all these settings and take advantage of that. Okay, let's continue. Oh, actually, let me share my PowerPoint. I'm like, what did I miss? But I already covered that, the required password on the first login. You will have questions, that's normal. I don't see that application settings in the drop down. Probably means that I'm not giving admin permission, right? Oh, yes. If you don't see admin tools, when you click on the settings and you just see user preferences or change password or subscription details, if you don't see admin tools, that means that you don't have admin permission. Correct. You can always contact your supervisor and let them know, like, hey, I've learned that if you go to the admin under, so it has to say administrator home. If you don't see that, you won't see the application settings. So yeah, that's why. But you can always contact support if you're not 100% sure. Or sometimes it means that, and it has happened, so I'm gonna clarify this. Years ago, Serenade had one portal for admin, obviously, as we have separate, no, admin versus caseworker, but you would have to log in separately. And now they have done the connection where you just click admin tools and then you can go back and forth from admin to caseworker. Okay. And if you are an existing user for years, you probably have to enable that. So contact, if you're the only user and you're like, well, I'm my own supervisor, contact us so that we can help you fix that. Okay. All right. So as I said earlier, you will have questions, but we are here to assist you. Please call us Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Pacific Standard Time, except on holidays, or send us an email 24/7. That's our email address. You can also, as I said, click on technical support. Uh, when you click on the question mark, this is where you can click on technical support and send us a message from here so that we can assist you. You could also send your feedback to developers, anything you like or dislike. We have that user's guide access as well. And we do these trainings for free live on Fridays, except on holidays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have a podcast. It's called Serenade Snacks. You can be a participant. If you want to participate, let us know. So maybe you want to have participation with any hot topic in the immigration arena, right? Join the Facebook forum page. This is where clients also participate and interact with other users. We have a YouTube channel. We encourage you to subscribe so that you are in the know when we release new features. And speaking of, before I forget, give me one second. Let me open my cheat sheet. Where did it go? Oh, I closed my window. I wanted to talk to you about new features that I don't have in my PowerPoint just because they were recently released. Number one, well, I did mention the 539 background questions are out now. The I-131 form was released. We have a mechanism to recognize if you guys upload an empty document, then you will get that alert that there's a blank, upload. There's no file attached. And the logs, if you create a log at the contact level, but you want to print also case logs, now you can include those case logs in one document. Okay. The I-131F was out last week, 2 weeks ago, and you can file that online. In fact, let me show you. We have a section called Did You Know? And so you can click on these links to learn more about these features. And one of them is e-fileable forms. So you can file the I-131F now. Mm, yeah, okay. Just reading through some of the notes that I had. Okay, so please connect with us. If you have any questions before we disconnect, I'll stay here for a couple more minutes because I have another training right after. So please let me know if you have any questions. I hope that you learned something new today. Just let me know before you go if your questions were addressed during the webinar. And as always, we appreciate your time and that we hope that you have a great weekend. Okay, we just have a poll in progress, so click before you go. Just waiting for the rest of the participants to vote. Thank you everyone for participating. So as always, have a great weekend. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining. Take care. All right, well, have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much. Don't forget to download the PowerPoint presentation so you can click on the links. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Serenade Academy, and this is where you can find new features. When we have new features, you can watch the videos here. All right, everyone, have a great weekend. Take care. Bye bye. Happy Friday.